Greetings, Earthlings. It is your host of the Todd E. Walnuts Show, Todd E. Walnuts, coming to you live from Uranus, and I'm joined by the two beautiful ladies in my life, Hannah and Heidi, and I have a couple things I want to share with you guys today. Not too many, and again, I'm going to tell you that it's probably not going to be a very long video, and then it's going to end up being like an hour. So kick your feet up, get a beverage and a snack, light a candle, and let's check out these movies that I picked up. Okay, so the flash is on. That means we are down to business here now. We are down to business. So this stack here on the left is our movies that I picked up from SRS Cinema, Sub Rosa Studios, Ron Bonk in the house. I picked up a couple of Arrow Video titles. I picked up a really cool fan-made movie. I'm looking forward to showing you that. I have a couple other little miscellaneous movies in this pile. I have some old movies, kind of cheapy DVDs that I've been grabbing lately. I've been picking up a lot of these in lots, and I've been getting really good deals. I have a feeling that a lot of this stuff is going to start going up in price, so I'm trying to get the things that I want now while they're really low. So, but these are just kind of cheapies from like the 50s and 60s, monster movies, creature features. I got a signed record from Dina Martin, the lovely daughter of Dean Martin. And I have a couple of posters. I got a new, they're calling it a display book now. They used to call these portfolios, but I got a couple posters with the SRS movies, so I'll show you those at the end. So I guess we'll get into the SRS stuff first. Let's check out the Sub Rosa Studios movies. So I picked up a few Ryan Cavallini movies, and he's an underground director, independent horror director. He makes low budget, shot on video movies, and they're pretty good. They're actually really good. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed this one quite a bit. This one's called Guts on the Chainsaw. This was supposed to be based on a Pennsylvania folklore, but he borrowed heavily from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which is fine by me because I love that movie. The original, there are a few of the sequels that I like as well, and there are a couple sequels I think are just atrocious and terrible and should have never been made. There's some really cool masks in this movie, and I contacted Ryan Cavallini, and I asked him if he was selling any of the masks, and I think he kind of dropped a little hint to me, because he said that he's hanging on to it in case there's a sequel. So I hope there's a sequel, and I hope that he still keeps the mask. And I'm not going to give anything away about this movie. It's very low budget, so it has that charm feel to it, though, with the kind of the low budget and the kind of, I don't want to say bad acting, because the actors actually played pretty good roles in this movie. But, you know, there's not going to be any Academy Awards in a movie like this. But it was very, very gory. There was a lot of blood, a lot of clever kills. I don't want to give anything away, but the lead female she was a tough badass, and I like to see movies like that with a tough female lead like this. And it kind of harkens back to Sally Hardesty from the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre from 1974. So they did borrow a lot. There was a lot of inspiration in this movie from Tobe Hooper's classic from 1974. And actually, is this one still in my player? No, I have it. What did I put in next? I can't remember what I was watching after this. I thought this would still be in my player, and here is an art card for another of Cavallini's movies called Myths and Mutants. I'll probably grab this. Now, this is not a SRS Cinema movie, but it was sold by Ron Bonk on his website. But if you want to buy this directly from Ryan Cavallini, who is the producer, director, and the writer of the film, you can go to his website there, www.legendhuntersfilms.com, and he will respond to your questions. And there's his whole catalog of movies is on there, and I'm going to show you a couple more after this one. This one was really good, though. I would recommend it. It was a fun watch. The next one here is another Ryan Cavallini movie called Mountain Devil, The Search for Frank Peterson. And what this is, it's a documentary-style movie, almost kind of like an unsolved mystery episode that's kind of a movie length. And it deals with, obviously, Bigfoot or Sasquatch, or the hairy man, or the skunk ape, whatever you want to call them. I didn't get a chance to finish this movie. I popped it in to take a look at it. And I think where he was going with this is he was, how do I explain it? When I put this in and started watching it, the video quality, even though it's on Blu-ray, it was very poor quality, and I think he was going for that old VHS look to it to make you feel like you're watching something that was original from like the 70s or 80s, maybe on a VHS tape or reel-to-reel or something like that. So if you're into the Bigfoot movies, I think it's a good series. I have a couple more. I'm going to share those. I actually have this one on DVD as well. Maybe I'll go grab that and show that to you. I showed it in my Bigfoot collection overview video several months ago now, but I like I like his vision, and I like what he was going for with that kind of that vintage look, but I don't think it was really that necessary to make it, the quality looked very, very low. It was low quality picture quality. And I think they could have probably even brought that up halfway to what it was. You know, it doesn't have to be squeaky clean, but they could have brought it up quite a bit and it would have still had that vintage feel. It was almost kind of unwatchable in certain spots for me anyway, and I like the gimmick of the documentary, the docudramas, and they try to make it look aged, like it was on film, but I don't think you had to go that deep into it. But with all that said, though, I do recommend these, and I think these are fun movies. If you like the documentary, almost like a found footage documentary style. And who doesn't love Bigfoot movies? So it says this one is based on true events that occurred in the Appalachian Mountains. Mountain Devil recounts the frightening events of the night Frank Peterson and his friend spent the night in a secluded cabin stalked by something they could not explain. So I love this, and you can see they even kind of went with that. This is brand new, right? But it looks like it's been faded and folded, and you can see creasing, and some of the ink has been worn away, but that's what they were going for with this. So I recommend it still. I think it's a fun watch, and if you like Bigfoot movies and you like to support independent horror, do check this out. And just really quick, I wanted to show you what the DVD looks like. It's the same movie, same director, everything. This was put out by Wild Eye on DVD. And let's see here, for the bonus features, you get the Making a Devil, Forgotten Cases, Casting the Foot, trailers, and promo video. And on this one, you get a documentary. Oh, it just says bonus features, 90 minutes documentary film, not rated. I didn't dive into this to see if all the bonus materials were ported over from the Wild Eye release. I'm not sure, but I'm glad I have both of these. The next one is a sequel, and I have not watched this one yet. It's still in the shrink wrap. This one's called Mountain Devil 2, The Search for Jan Clement. And I believe what he's going for here is another kind of a docudrama. And this time there's a different case study. It's a different person, Jan Clement. And I really can't say anything about this because I haven't watched it, but there you can see what their portrayal of Jan Clement looks like there. And then there's supposed real evidence of a hairy man in the woods. And I think everybody enjoys a good Bigfoot movie. Now, whether or not you truly believe in Bigfoot, that's a whole different story. But you can still have fun with these. I'm a skeptic, but I really want there to be a Bigfoot. I hope there's a Bigfoot out there. I hope there's a whole colony of them and we're just missing them. I'm not trying to rain on anybody's parade or start an argument, and I'm not trying to tell you what to believe in. But I just feel like if there were Bigfoot out there, we would have found something by now, a skull or a body or something. But like I said, I want to believe. I'm like Fox Mulder. I want to believe in UFOs. I want to believe in Bigfoot, Loch Ness Monster, Chupacabra, all that stuff, ghosts. I'm very skeptical, but hopefully I'll be proven wrong someday. And the third and final one, at least for now anyway, Mountain Cannibal 3, the Bigfoot Invasion. And I haven't watched this one yet either. I like the way the Bigfoot looks in this one, or the Mountain Devil as they're calling him. I think it's a unique look. It's different than what we're normally seeing on some of these documentaries and movies. And I'm really glad to see that he was using practical effects. And then again, when you have a shoestring budget, you can't really get into the CGI stuff. But I'm looking forward to checking these out, and I'm probably gonna marathon all three of these back to back to back. So if you're interested, again, you can go to legendhuntersfilms.com, and you're buying them directly from Ryan Cavallini, who is the producer, writer, director, or you can do like I did. If I would have known that I can buy them directly from Ryan, I would have gone that route. But I found these on SRS Cinema, so you can also buy these there. I want to say these were only about like $9 or $10 a piece, which is really good for a Blu-ray. And you're supporting independent horror. That's the most important thing. So go check these out. I'll kind of spread these out here again, and you can get another viewing. There's Mountain Devil 3, the Bigfoot Invasion. Mountain Devil 2, the Search for Jan Clement. And Mountain Devil, the Search for Frank Peterson. Okay, now we're getting into the SRS Cinema branded product. This one is called Slaughterhouse on the Hill. After the last couple of purchases I've had from SRS, those were mostly DVDs that were on sale. I believe the sale is still going. I know their stock is dwindling, so if you want to pick up some of those DVDs that you saw in some of my previous videos, you may want to go over there and grab some of those. But now I'm kind of picking up some of the Blu-rays that I really wanted to get now. So this is from 2024. It's only 73 minutes running time. And who doesn't love a good slasher movie? I don't know if it's a good slasher movie, but who doesn't love a slasher movie? In conjunction with Cinema Epoch. That's the company that put it out, and Sub Rosa Studios kind of released it on their label. After attending the homecoming football game, a night of terror ensues when a group of friends party at an abandoned slaughterhouse. That sounds like something from the 80s, and I loved some of the slasher movies in the 80s. There was a lot of really good stuff in the 70s and 80s. This, to me, feels like it's kind of a throwback, but I haven't watched it yet. If anybody has and you want to comment, just please try to keep it spoiler-free for the rest of us. But I would be glad to hear from you if you liked it or not. The next one here, just by judging the cover, looks to me like it's a Texas Chainsaw, maybe inspired. I don't want to call it a ripoff, but let's just call it what it is. It's a ripoff. I don't know. I haven't watched it yet. This is called Normal Violence, but just looking at that skin mask definitely looks like Leatherface. And this one came out in 2023. It has 75 minutes running time. And just a quick brief synopsis. It says, deep in the rural Midwest where I live, a serial killer known only as the Devil's Butcher stalks his next victim. But when he crosses paths with two seasoned detectives, he's nearly killed, only to be rescued at the last moment by a satanic cult leader. He is reborn under their unholy church, clad in the mask made of human skin, and now he's known as the Brother. As a battle between good and evil begins, this insane, bizarre tale will leave you questioning your sanity long after it is over. So, to me, this is the kind of movies I enjoy. And even if these movies are pretty terrible, I still find enjoyment in them. So, I'm not going to sit here and talk trash about these movies. I love movies, so I always at least find something good in any of these movies I watch. And again, if anybody has watched this and you want to, you know, leave a little comment or two about it, just kind of keep it spoiler free. Thank you. And as we fast approach the Halloween season, I picked up Tales from the Graveyard. This is a Halloween anthology, and it is presented by Scream Queen Mel Heflin, right there. And it presents 4 sinister tales that will send a shiver down your spine. And the 4 segments are called VHS, Sleigh Bells, Frank, and Eye of the Serpent. And this one came out in 2021. And it looks like there's some pretty good practical effects in here. And I do love Halloween-themed or just holiday-themed horror movies. So I'm definitely looking forward to checking this one out. The cover looks great. And I haven't watched it yet, so I don't know what I'm getting into. But I'm definitely looking forward to checking this out. The next one here is called The Last Amityville Movie. And just like Bigfoot or, you know, Chupacabra or La Llorona, there's really no copyright on those characters. Same thing goes with the Amityville movies. You can make Amityville movies that have nothing to do with the original movies, and you can get away with it because it's not copyrighted or copywritten. And there have been many that are independent from the original series or franchise. This one came out in 2023. It's a 95-minute running time. That's pretty long for these shot-on-video, low-budget movies. I like to see these around like the 1 hour to like an hour and 10, hour and 15 minutes. I think that's kind of pushing the envelope for these low-budget movies. And anytime you get into like an hour and a half, an hour and 35 minutes, that's pretty long for a low-budget movie. But I'm looking forward to checking it out. It looks like there's a lot of kind of found footage type screenshots here. You can see it looks like there's, what do you call it? Like nanny cam or security cam footage, Ring doorbell type footage. Looking forward to checking these out. I like to support Ron Bonk over at SRS Cinema. He's keeping the movie physical media game alive. You know, he's even still releasing VHS tapes and DVDs and Blu-rays. Another company that's great for that is Scream Team Releasing. They're still keeping horror movies alive, physical media alive. And I love to support the independent horror filmmakers and the independent release labels too. So this is The Last Amityville Movie. And the last one for SRS Cinema is, I have a decent Scarecrow movie collection, and I think I'm going to show that at some point here in the near future. I'm going to show you all my Scarecrow horror movies that I have. This is another one. This is the newest release to that collection. This one's called Rise of the Scarecrows, Hell on Earth. I enjoy a good Scarecrow movie. There aren't too many good ones, but when they're good, they're really good, but there's some bad ones too. And this one just says a young writer returns to his hometown and soon discovers the dark secret that has been hidden for years. These scarecrows have risen and they are raising hell. It looks like it's a home invasion type movie. And it looks very low budget, but I'm in. This one came out in 2021. Directed by Gino McGahee. Gino McGahee. I don't even know why I bother trying to pronounce names when I'm way off most of the time. So anyway, Rise of the Scarecrows, Hell on Earth. Looking forward to checking it out. So now we will get into the 2 Arrow video 4K upgrades that I picked up recently. I pre-ordered these a couple months ago, and this is the Friday the 13th 4K. You get 2 cuts of the movie, and it just came back to me. This is what I was watching recently. Actually, I was watching it last night. I was watching the killer cut of it, and I gotta say, the first couple times I watched this movie, I wasn't really keen on the movie. I didn't really care much for it, but it has grown on me. And watching the killer cut last night, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty good. And so you get the slipcover here. This is beautiful artwork. So you got the mask on one side, you got the sack head on the other side, and then it looks like it's ripped down the middle where you can see a newspaper printing of, you know, teens missing and just what's ever going on in Crystal Lake, at Camp Crystal Lake. It's a really nice slipcover. So for disc 1, this is the 4K limited edition. Disc 1, you get the theatrical cut, and disc 2 is the killer cut. And the killer cut, I think, is 10 minutes longer, if I remember. I think it comes in at, well, let's see, down here. Looks like it's 8, oh, come on, focus, you can do it. Looks like it's 8 minutes longer. I thought it was 10, but it's 8. We're not going to split hairs over a 2-minute difference, but I thought it looked really, really great. And I'm not here to try to, I'm not the biggest 4K fan. I think it's, to me, in my own opinion, many of these, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I can't really tell a great difference between a Blu-ray and a 4K a lot of the times. There are a couple exceptions that kind of blew me away, and I'm not trying to put 4K down, and I'm not trying to tell you to go out and upgrade everything to 4K. Just buy what you like. I'm not going to upgrade everything to 4K. That's ridiculous, right? But I thought the 4K for the killer cut looked really, really good on this edition, and I would recommend it. I'm not trying to tell you to go upgrade everything to 4K. You do what you feel is best for you and your collection. But here's the theatrical cut that's on 4K, and then the other one's still in my player. I keep these little stickers that are on the outside cellophane, and it just says 4K HDR. That's where the killer cut was housed. You also get, there's a poster and a booklet and a couple of art cards, and there's a reversible cover as well. Let's see if we can take a look there. That's what the original DVD looked like, and Blu-ray. That's a great image right there. That's Derek Mears as Jason Voorhees. And the movie has grown on me, like I said, and I find myself enjoying it. Here's the little booklet, and they make it look like it's kind of a browned newspaper, like it has a little age to it. It says, on this day, June 13th, 1980. I wouldn't really consider this a remake. They do kind of they show a little bit of a recap in the beginning, if you remember. They don't show the original actresses, but they do show Pamela Voorhees being beheaded by Alice in the beginning. It's not the original actresses, it's a recreation. And then it goes into its own storyline about this group of, I'm assuming they're teens. They look like they may be early 20s maybe. They're looking for marijuana, and they're looking for a big score. And they happen to venture into the wrong area because now they find themselves in Jason Voorhees territory. There's some really good looking people in this movie though. I mean, the women are gorgeous. You got the guy who played Sam Winchester. You know, I mean, these are all, I mean, they're all really good looking people. Derek Mears is a great Jason. He's tall. I think Derek Mears probably like 6'5", 6'6". In real life, he's tall and lean, but he's very muscular and he's quick, and he's very, very imposing. He's very frightening as Jason, and I really enjoy it. In this movie, he wears both the sack head and the mask. This was a pretty horrifying scene right here. So there was some good kills. I thought the movie is actually pretty good. After years of being a little bit disappointed, I'm really glad that I kind of stayed with it and watched it again. Here's kind of I guess a recreation of a postcard. Greetings from Crystal Lake. And you have an art card advertisement for Fist of Fury, starring Jackie Chan. And there's their streaming site. I'm not really into streaming, so that doesn't excite me. And then there's a poster. I'm not sure if it's a two-sided. It probably is. Yeah, it is. Because I'm not going to pull it all the way out because there's the image from the original poster art there, and then the other image is that. So all in all, really happy with this release, and I'm glad I picked it up. There's no way I wasn't going to pick it up, being a Friday the 13th fan, but it's grown on me over the years. And the second and last Arrow title I picked up is Torso. I have this movie many times. This is a great giallo slasher movie. It's a Sergio Martino movie, Torso, starring Susie Kendall. She's quite easy on the eyes, if you know what I'm saying. She's a very beautiful actress. I think this was a website exclusive cover. I could be wrong about that. I'm not sure. Let me see if it says on the back. I mean, I have this movie so many times, I thought I may as well just grab the 4K. It says 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray Limited Edition Contents. I think if it was a website exclusive, it may say this on the back, but I don't see it, and I'm not going to really look for it. But as you can see, there's a lot of bonus materials there. As always with Arrow, they really put a lot of effort into their releases, and they're one of the good guys that are keeping physical media alive. And there's the Italian cover. I flipped it, and there's another cover. Here, let me see if I can get that there. You probably will recognize this cover. And then there's even yet another image on the disc. This is a 1-disc set, and there's a pretty thick booklet and an art card. And I keep these little stickers. I don't know, don't ask me why. I just like to keep that stuff. And on this one, it looks like there's an image of Al Pacino in Carlito's Way, I believe. And again, the streaming. And it feels like it's about maybe 25 pages or so. Let's see. Table of contents, cast and crew. And then you have a little write-up by Adrian Smith called Violence Brings in the Bucks. Joseph Brenner, the forgotten hero of 42nd Street. And some images here. This movie was made in 1973, but to me, it always feels like it has a 60s vibe. And you can even see it from the cars that they drive. In Italy, I think this was made in Italy. And the clothes and the cars and all that stuff. There's the famous black gloves of the Giallo movies. Songs for Europe, the music of Guido and Maurizio. And some more images there. Kind of a haunting image, the blue-eyed doll. There's Susie Kendall. And you get a little bit about the restoration and production credits, special thanks. So I'm glad to have this release. And if anybody knows if this is a website exclusive, let me know. Now this next one is like it's a fan-made Blu-ray, but the quality of some of these fan-made movies is unbelievable these days. I bought this on Mercari, and it came in this lot right here. So it was $20 for this movie. I could really care less about Mad Max Fury Road. It's a 3-disc set, and Night of the Demons, which I already have with the slipcover. This is a double for me. So all three of these together were 20 bucks. And I think he included these because I don't think he can really sell this, because I don't think it hasn't really been officially released. So if I remember right, and hit the description of the lot, you were paying for this, and he was throwing that in for free, which I could really care less about either of these. And I was more than willing to pay $20 for this. I'm going to show you guys just how far they've come with fan-made editions now. So you can see that it's in a red case. It's got the Netflix logo. It's got a really cool image of the latest Leatherface. And on the back, you know, it looks like it's a real legit copy. And not only that, but this has a reversible cover as well, which I've never seen on a fan-made edition before. So you can get this cover too. And there's the reverse back. This is what it looks like on the disc. And if you look on the back, it has kind of a purple, maybe you can't really tell on my phone, but it has kind of like a purple tinge to it. That's a clear sign that it's a burned copy, and these are not manufactured on demand. So this is a fan-made edition, and I popped it in, and I thought it looked really, really good. So until this gets an official release on Blu-ray, this is my go-to. I've seen this movie a couple times on Netflix already. I liked it. I didn't love it, but I liked it. I enjoyed it. But if they ever do come out with an original, you know, an authentic release, I'll get rid of this and buy the authentic, because I don't like to support bootlegging or fan-made unless it doesn't have a proper release. Then I will take it. So for 20 bucks, I thought that was a good deal. Would you do it? Would you pay 20 for these? I don't care about these. I was willing to pay 20 for just that. I thought that was a good deal. Okay, the next one is one that was on my wish list for a long time, and I just never really thought much about it. I do love the Harry Potter movies. I'm not afraid to admit that. The Harry Potter movies were amazing. I really, really love those movies. And I knew that this was sort of a, I guess, kind of a prequel to the Harry Potter franchise. And this is the 3 Fantastic Beasts movies. And the only reason I bought this recently is because every once in a while on Amazon, they have kind of a flash sale. and they were selling this for $10 for 3 movies. So I was more than willing to pay $10 for 3 movies. I would prefer to get them each in their own release and have 3 separate releases. But for $10, I was more than willing to do this and buy this. But you get Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, and The Crimes of Grindelwald, and The Secrets of Dumbledore. And I have not seen any of these yet. They're all PG-13, but I'm looking forward to checking these out. Do I think they'll be as good as Harry Potter? I doubt it, but one of them came out here. Let's see. I doubt it, but I'm sure I will still really enjoy these movies. I love the fantasy and the adventure and the sword and sorcery type movies, so I'm really looking forward to checking these out. Fantastic Beasts 3-film collection. You may want to go to Amazon if you're interested and see if the sale's still going. But yeah, it was like $10, so that was a must for me. I had to grab that for $10. And the last one from my little kind of miscellaneous pile, this is from Indicator Powerhouse. This one's called The Batwoman. So over like the last month, I've been picking up some Batman titles. So it started out, I was looking for different Batman animated steelbooks, and then it kind of grew from there, and I started going down these little rabbit holes. I ended up buying a porno. Don't ask me why. And literally, that's the only porno I own in my collection, and that's honest. I don't really get into porno movies like that. I don't buy them and collect them. But I bought it for the novelty of it, and that was the Bat Pussy movie that you guys may remember from my last update video. So this one was another rabbit hole that I went down, and I'm like, what in the heck? The Batwoman, directed by Renee Cardona. This is the 4K restoration of the original, Cardona's 1968 sun-splashed blend of action and science fiction. Maura Monti stars as the masked and bikini-clad crime-fighting wrestler blessed with bat powers and Bond gadgets. Strictly limited, individually numbered Blu-ray edition contains an array of extra features and lavishly illustrated 80-page book. And I don't think I paid much money for this. It was like $30 or less for a numbered edition, and it's brand new, still sealed. So there was, let's see here if I can get that to focus. I got number 4709 out of 8,000. And, well, I haven't opened it yet, but we're going to open it now. It is all region. That's great. And you can see, if you want to pause it maybe and read that huge box of all these extras. And I'm going to pause it here, and I'm going to take the shrink wrap off, and we're going to look inside. So the shrink wrap is off, the little card is off. And I got to keep this card because it has the number on there. There's got to be a reason why they do it like this. Maybe it's cheaper to just, punch the numbers into paper like this instead of punching them into a box. But I would much prefer to have the number on the back of the box, maybe or on the spine or something. But it must be something to do with cost. I'm imagining. But so here's the cover. I took it out already. It's a nice thick box, nice and sturdy. And this is what the spine looks like. There you have Indicator on the spine, and it says number 275. And you got a really beautiful book here. Flip through the book a little bit. I have never seen this movie before. I'm definitely going to watch this. I don't know, did they mention if this was in Spanish with English subtitles? Did I even get that far? I don't think I mentioned it. So 1968, it was made in Mexico, 80 minutes running time. It's in Spanish language with English subtitles. And it's in color. Silly British, I have to put an extra letter in the word color. I love my Bellin brothers over in Great Britain. Those are my buddies over there. I tease them. That's pretty cool. I like that. Is that Two-Face? I doubt that they used the same villains. It looks like they kind of went the wrestling route in here, so they're probably gonna be battling other famous Mexican wrestlers, I'm thinking. I doubt that they're gonna have like the Penguin and the Joker, and oh, that's cool when they show some of the original artwork. Beautiful women. This movie's almost 60 years old already. Whoa, what is that? That's creepy. Looks like they dug up a corpse. So this is really a really beautiful edition. It looks like it's, well, I think they said on the back it was an 80-page book. She looks really great in that Batman getup. I like that. She's cute. And then here's like a little digipack style packaging in a little kind of a paper sleeve here. Paper, not sleeve, but a paper little case, I guess. I like that too. That looks really good. That's a great poster. And then here's the disc. All region Blu-ray. And there's our heroine. There's our star of the show. So I was glad to pick this up. It was still cheap. Anytime I can get a limited edition for about the same price as when it was released, I'll grab it. Okay, so now I'm gonna kind of rifle through some of these cheapies. Now this stack right here on the left, there's a little bit of history to this, a little bit of film history. I mean, nothing really exciting, but this is the Vampire Bat starring Fay Wray and Lionel Atwill, Melvin Douglas. This was put out by a company called Beverly Wilshire Filmworks. But before that company owned it, it was owned by Telefilms International. Both of those companies are defunct. And it was also put out by Saturn Productions. And there was a rumor that the Mafia owned Saturn Productions, and I think it was only in existence for a couple of years, and I don't want to say too much. I'm just going to drop it right there. But I think they were using it as a front for something else. So these movies are all very, very low quality, and they're getting harder to find too. This little bit of movie releasing history, physical media history. I'm sure you can still find these relatively cheap. I bought all of these in a lot for 25 bucks. So that tells you that these are only like, I think there's 9 movies here. So it's less than $3 a pop, but they're gonna be harder to find. So this is the Vampire Bat and the Bloody Vampire. You can see that they didn't really put a lot of effort into the covers of these movies. And they're very, very ultra low quality. These are more or less just collectibles. I won't even watch these. This one is not part of the Telefilms International. This is just this was the 9th one in that lot. The other 8 were Telefilm. And this is Little Cory Gory. This movie has several different releases. I know Sub Rosa Studios, I believe they own the rights to it now. And I have the VHS and the Blu-ray from SRS Cinema, but this is the DVD. Kind of a cult classic, I guess. It still goes under the radar. but I think more and more people are finding out about little Corey Gory. See, look at this. This one's terrible. The cover is just awful. Bring Me the Vampire has DVD on there twice. It just, you can tell that they really they weren't trying to make money on these movies. There was other reasons. And these all came out in 2000. I think by the year 2003, the company was completely erased from history. It was defunct. Here's Samson in the Wax Museum, another terrible cover. These are movies that were just so terrible, I had to grab these for the collection. And the next one's called Robot versus Aztec Mummy. Another terrible cover. Doctor of Doom. I think a lot of these, maybe all of them, are public domain, I think. Except for Little Corey Gory. Here's a Brainiac. This was a Mexican horror movie, and this cover's terrible. I've seen other covers of this that actually look amazing, and the movie's not very good either, but it's a Mexican horror movie, monster, creature feature, and then teenage zombies. This is probably the best cover of the lot, and it's terrible. So I just wanted to kind of share that little bit of history. I don't know much more than that, and I do actually know a little bit more. I just don't want to say too much more, just because I don't want to be found in cement shoes in Lake Michigan somewhere. So I'm going to pause it here, get something to drink, and then we'll finish up with a couple more things here. Okay, so this next stack here is also cheapies, but these are better quality cheapies. These are kind of like 50s sci-fi drive-in type movies. And the first one here is called Attack of the Giant Leeches. This was another lot that I bought all these together. And it was, again, I think it was like 25 or 30 bucks for the whole lot, including shipping. So I think there's 10 in this lot, I think. 9 or 10. But these were put up by Alpha Video, and you can get them you could at one time get these at oldies.com. You can tell that these are better quality because the cases are heavier, and they had better print quality. Next one is Terror Creatures from the Grave, starring Barbara Steele. There's not too many more movies that I don't have in my collection already, so I'm trying to go back and get some of these obscure ones that are kind of cheaper. This one runs 61 minutes. That's perfect. 1965, black and white, 61 minutes. That is a perfect drive-in movie length. Next one is called The Sadist, starring Arch Hall Jr. That's another terrible cover. And this one came out in 1963. 95 minutes running time. And the next one is another Barbara Steele movie. Really love Barbara Steele. This is Nightmare Castle. I have this movie a couple different times. It's been released on Blu-ray. I think it was Severin that put it out. I do have that. I think I have the autographed edition, the Barbara Steele autograph from Severin Films. She's great. And this one was also from 1965. And the next one is Silent Night, Bloody Night. I have this movie several times. This movie is actually very creepy. This is a good, like a mental asylum movie. And I find those very fascinating because that's another genre that could be, it could really happen. You know, somebody could escape from a mental hospital and go on a rampage or a slaughter, you know, just, you never know. I mean, that's something that really could happen. And that's why I find these movies pretty frightening. John Carradine was in that one later in his career. Here is one from SRS Cinema. And this is one that I didn't have on DVD. This one's called Snuff Tape Anthology. I'm probably going to get flagged for even saying that. You can't say this word or these two words on YouTube, and it's getting worse, guys. They're really adding words to their... It's an AI bot that scans everything that we say in our videos, and they keep adding words that we can't say to it. But anyway, it's a fake snuff tape movie. There's no such thing as a snuff tape. But this is a shot on video, snuff tape video, and you can see all the different segments it has. I just wanted to grab this while it was still affordable. This one's going to be harder to find, I think. I don't know if it ever had a Blu-ray release. I'll have to look into that, but I was just happy with the DVD. I think that was like $9 for that one. And then I picked up a movie called Dark Heritage, The Final Descent. And look at this. That looks wacky. I had to grab this. An uncredited adaptation of H.P. Lovecraft's The Lurking Fear, which has had several different, I don't know about several, but it has at least a couple different releases, and I think it was called The Lurking Fear. Was that put out by Full Moon Video? And I think maybe even 88 Films put that out. There's a couple different renditions of this story. This is yet another. After a violent thunderstorm, mutilated bodies are found at a Louisiana campground. Investigative reporter Clint Harrison uncover a dark local legend about a reclusive Danson clan who may be connected with the murders. Determined to dig up the truth, Clint and his buddies decide to spend the stormy night at a seemingly abandoned Danson mansion. And just seeing the practical effects in these masks and the makeup, and it looks great. When I say it looks great, it's probably cheesy, but I'm sure I'll have a good time with Dark Heritage. And the last one is A Bucket of Blood. This is the MGM release. This was on my wish list for a long time. And I already have this on Blu-ray. I just wanted to get the DVD. Like I said, I'm kind of going back. I have so many movies in my collection. I'm kind of going back and picking up things that I missed early on, or I just passed up early on. Everybody knows this movie. Dick Miller's in here. It's produced and directed by Roger Corman. It's a classic. It's a good drive-in style movie. I'm going to pause it here really quick, take another drink. I'm going to show you guys a couple posters. I'm going to show you this very lovely record that I got directly from Dina Martin. And I forgot, I was going to show you guys my 12-inch Predator. So stick around, let's check that out. Okay, you guys, you had seen my previous portfolio of some of my posters. So this is the second one I bought. And I don't think I've shown these posters because these were out hanging in my garage, but I took them out. I'm going to be remodeling my garage, putting in drywall, and I'm going to kind of make a little man cave out there. I'm going to put some stuff out there, a TV and a stereo and stuff. I got to get the floor finished, and I'm going to put some drywall. But for now, I took the posters out, and this is Wizard of Gore from SRS Cinema. I don't think this one's signed. And then I have Empire State of the Dead, and this one was signed by Ron Bonk. And this one is from a fellow Wisconsinite, and Kevin Summerfield, and this is called Dismembering Christmas. This was a really good holiday slasher Christmas movie. I really enjoyed this, and I got this thing all signed up by the cast and crew. You can see there, I thought that was pretty nice. I had this hanging out in the frame in my garage. And then here are some of the newest posters I got. That's Tales from the Graveyard. That's a great poster. I also got the last Amityville movie. And Normal Violence. So I have a lot of pages to fill. This is part 2. This is the second book. So glad to have that, and I do plan on filling it and probably buying a third one. not in this video, but coming up soon, I have a big order from Scream Team Releasing. So I'll be doing an unboxing of that when it comes in, and I have some posters coming from that order too. So those will be going in here. So I'm gonna pause it here and we're gonna look at the Deana Martin record. I'm gonna talk a little bit about it, and then we'll look at the 12-inch Predator, and we'll wrap this shit show up. So I was really happy to get this from Deana in the mail a couple weeks ago. This is her kind of tribute to her father, Dean Martin's Volare, To Fly. And she signed it to Old Walnuts. Toddy Walnuts love Deana Martin. I'm gonna leave a link below, and you can watch a very young Deana Martin singing Side by Side with her dad. And Side by Side was a song that Dean used to, when it was Martin and Lewis, Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis used to do Side by Side in the 50s. That was part of their routine. And during the Dean Martin show, I believe it was like in the 1964, maybe 1965, a very young Deana Martin, she was probably 15 or 16 at that time. She was on the Dean Martin show, and she sang Side by Side with her dad. It was great. She was like 16 years old. And she's now 76. And look at how freaking beautiful she is. She's married to record producer John Griffith, he's a big time stud in the producing world. They're a power couple, Deana Martin and John Griffith. And she has her own YouTube channel. And she does a live show every Thursday, which is produced by John Griffith. And it's kind of a variety show like her dad used to have. And she'll do some singing, and she'll do some jokes. And she's very clean. She's a very beautiful, and like I said, they're a power couple. He's a really very nice guy. They're a very nice couple. And she puts on a very wholesome show. It's really nice. And she'll read some comments she has a pretty huge comment section, and the comments go pretty quick, but she'll pick out a couple here and there, and she'll discuss things with people in the chat. It's really nice, and it lasts about an hour, her show. So do check that out. I'll also leave her YouTube link down below, but I want you to check out Side by Side. I think that's really cool. So she signed it to Toddy Walnuts, and she also sent a little card. And it says compliments of Deana Martin. She sent it on August 30th of this year, and it says, Dear Todd E., enjoy my music, love, Deana. And I'm gonna keep this and treasure this forever. I think I love this. It's really great. That right there, it goes right up there with my Nancy Sinatra, where she signed it right on the forearm, or her bicep there. I really, really love those two autographs. This is a great record. She has a fantastic voice. I also ordered her Christmas album, which should be here like in a week or two. I'll show you that in another video. But she has on her website, I'll link that too. Hell, I'll give you all three of I'll give you her YouTube page, her side-by-side video, and her merch page. So you can order CDs that are signed, you can order vinyl that's signed, and you can order a book that she wrote about her father, Dean Martin, and she'll sign anything for you. She's excellent. She signs for free. Nancy Sinatra's a little different. She's very, very pricey on her signatures. But Deana Martin, if you buy her record, and I think this was 30 bucks, I think it's 25 for a CD and 30 for vinyl, she'll sign it for free. That's pretty amazing. And she's great. I can't say enough good things about Deana Martin. So I'm gonna pause it here. I'll show you my Predator, and then make sure you check those links, and then we'll wrap this up. Okay, so here it is in all of its glory. This is the 12-inch Jungle Predator. This is a vintage figure now. I think this is over 20 years old. I picked this up on a secondary website. It was still sealed. I took the tape off, or I cut the tape open. I'm gonna take it out and show you guys. I think this, when I say vintage, I'm thinking it's over 20 years old. Let's see. I consider 20 or more vintage. And And so the movie came out in 79. The movie Alien came out in 79. Predator came out in 87, and this toy came out in 2004, so it's exactly 20 years old. The box is in really good shape, considering it's 20 years old. The guy never took it out. You can see that it's still, I believe it's still tied. I'm gonna take this out and display it at some point, and I think this one deserves to be displayed. I'm gonna pause it here to take it out of the box, and then I'll just kind of show you the details. And there's a base. This is a really, really cool toy. So there we can get a better look at him without the glare from that plastic on the box. This is a statue, so there's not a whole lot of articulation, but he does have the little rockets that come out. Get that beautiful face, that beautiful Predator face. He's got this little shoulder holster there, his little artillery. And then it comes with this beautiful base. I'm not gonna take it all out now, but at some point I will have this all set up to view. And I recently had an opportunity to buy a really rare statue for a very good price. I couldn't pull the trigger this paycheck. I had bills I had to pay. If it's still available in a couple of weeks, which I'm hoping it is, I'm gonna grab that too, and then I will display that, and I'll pull this out at the same time. And when I show you that, I'm not gonna tell you which statue I'm getting, but when I do get it, I'll display that and I'll put this next to it. It doesn't have anything to do with this movie or this franchise, but it'll look good side by side, even though it has nothing, they have nothing to do with one another. But this, I bought this on Mercari. Mercari is it's like eBay, and the guy was only asking $40 for this, brand new in package, a 20-year-old vintage toy. So of course I grabbed it. He had another one that didn't have the box. He was selling that for $30. I thought for an extra $10, I'll take the box. I went over on eBay and I looked, and these things are going for like 100 plus. So I think I got a really good deal. I was a little concerned when I paid $40 for this that I was going to get something bootleg, and even if it was a really good bootleg for $40, I would have been okay with it. But this is the real deal. So I got a really, really good deal on this. It just has the little twist ties and stuff on the back. I'm going to keep it packaged for now, but like I said, I will be displaying this. Predator has rotating shoulder cannon and control pad that opens and closes. I always thought the Predator was a really, really cool monster, and it was an instant classic to me. There's what he looks like there when he's out of his package. Predator is one of the most terrifying monsters to me anyway. So that was my video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and hope you guys are doing well. If you made it this far, thank you for coming over to the channel and showing support and viewing my videos. I do appreciate that. If you have any questions or comments, you can leave those below. Check those links. I want you to see Dean Martin with his young daughter, Dina Martin, singing side by side. It's great. And I will leave a link for her YouTube channel, and I will leave a link for her merch or her website. So check those out. Until next time, guys, take care, and I'll see you.